Hey guys, Dave Northeast Edible. We're looking at sunchoke or Jerusalem artichoke right here. A lot of plants like this get eaten up by pests. The sunchoke or Jerusalem artichoke is not one of those. These guys are a real hardy plant. They're in the same family as the sunflower, and I find sunflowers get eaten basically right away by basically everything I have around here: chipmunks, squirrels, groundhogs, you name it. They all go after those. But the sunflowers produce, they can get up to 8 to 10 to 12 feet tall. Um, and so will the Jerusalem artichoke. So they're basically they're relatives in the same family, and they'll have a nice flower. Not quite as big as some of the crazy sunflowers that you get, but this right here is going to come out another couple weeks towards the end of the summer. This will be probably 6 to 12 feet tall, and it'll have a nice flower and it'll look real pretty. So I planted these as kind of a landscaping plant, but the tuber is edible. So the flower will look awesome towards the middle to end of the summer, and the tuber, I'll get an edible tuber. Planted it with some of these daylilies, which are also an edible, but I basically use these guys for landscaping, and I will remove some of these tubers from the sunchokes because they are pretty tasty. So Dave Northeast Edible, we're and then we're also using just a nice ring of mulch around these guys, and this is planted basically right into the yard right by the driveway here. So just wanted to show you what's possible with a few quick flowers, a few quick tubers. Both these plants propagate nicely through tubers, which is basically you dig up the bulb in the fall or in the early spring or the winter, and then you put it in the ground, and then they propagate by that way. So Dave Northeast Edible had a couple questions about sunchokes and what we do if we're worried about them spreading like crazy, and how I always answer those questions about whether I'm worried about spreading from an edible plant is I love it. I love the fact that I can plant something that's good to eat and it spreads and just makes more of itself. So that's a great problem to have. Of course, if you have a real tight area, you probably, something that spreads like crazy, like a raspberry, or sunchokes don't really spread like crazy. They will. You'll just, when you have them in one area, you'll always have them for the most part, which is great for a food product. Not so great if you just want to plant it in one spot and see how it does. So if that's the case with your area, try something like putting it in a pot or putting it in a concealed area, or not in a confined area where it can't spread like crazy, where it can't take over everything. But if it does, if you find something like a sunchoke taking over, you can always just take over with a lawnmower and just cut it back over and over again, and you'll really hurt its vigor. So Dave Northeast Edible, if you have any questions with sunchokes, Jerusalem artichokes, some people call them fartichokes because they can make some people a little gassy. Haven't had that problem with myself and the family, but I heard it does happen to some people, so beware of that as well. Dave Northeast Edible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, email list, all that good stuff. Share these videos if you like them, and you guys have a great day. Take care.